Hello and welcome. I am so delighted that you are joining me today for this week's video. So this week I thought what I would do is kind of talk about the 5 apps that I absolutely love using for my landscape nature photography adventures. And so these are apps that range from anything from pre-planning, so apps that I use before I even hit the trail, to a couple apps that I use while I'm on the trail, and then an app that I use both after the trail and that at any other time I want to use this particular app. And so I know that there are thousands of apps out there, and you probably use some apps that I don't know about. And so what I would love is if in the comment section below, you can let me know your favorite photography apps that you use that maybe I should check out. So without further delay, what we will do and how I'm going to structure this particular video and talking about the apps is I'm going to start with the pre-planning apps, so the apps that I use before I hit the trail, the 2 apps that I use while I'm along the trail, and then an app that I use after the trail and at any other time during a random day or a week. And so without further delay, let's start with the pre-planning apps. My number 1 favorite pre-planning app is the app called AllTrails. And so there is also, you can use AllTrails on a desktop computer, so you don't have to just use it on your phone. And I use it both ways. I have the app downloaded on my phone, but then I will also sometimes use the desktop version. If you've never heard of AllTrails before, AllTrails is basically a huge, ginormous database of trails throughout the entire world. And so you can narrow it down all the way to wherever you are at and where you're searching for a particular trail. And then you can kind of do some filtering on your particular activities. So like I normally do hiking, but you can also do like off-roading. So if you have an off-roading vehicle and you're looking for an off-roading trail, you can also narrow it down that way. But I normally am just hiking, so I select hiking, but then I can select the duration, I can select the intensity, so is it an easy trail, a moderate, or a hard trail, and then I can filter it with activities that are along the way. So maybe I'm searching specifically for a waterfall hike with a waterfall on it, and so I will select waterfalls on my in the filter section, and then it will show me the waterfall hikes that are in the area that I'm searching. And so then when I find a hike that looks interesting, that looks like it matches what I want, I can click on it, and then it will give me a good description of the hike. It will share a map, so you can kind of see the trail that it is like on a topographic map, so you can see what that map looks like. My favorite aspects of it are the community section, and so there are people who like to post, who do the hikes, who like to put in the community post section their thoughts on the trails. People will share if it's like the trail is really overgrown, or there was lots of down trees, or make sure you actually the trailhead's actually not where it says it's at, it's moved over to here, or you park over here. Left at the fork, right at the fork. So people share little tidbits along the trail. They will also share photos. And it's the photo aspects that I really love, especially from a photography standpoint. I like to be able to see, what does that waterfall really look like? Is it a waterfall that I really want to take a photograph of? Can you actually get down to the waterfall? Or is it just like, you can just see the waterfall from the trail, but there's no way of getting down to it? So I love being able to see the photos that other people have shared along the trail, because it helps me narrow down if I really want to go on that particular trail or not. You can use it for free, or you can pay and have like the premium or the pro version. I use it for free, which means that I cannot download the map. So what I do with when I see a trail that I want to go on, I could just do a screenshot, and a blue jay. There is finally a blue jay. I'm sorry, so distracted by the fact that a blue jay, which I rarely see in my backyard, is in my backyard right now on one of my bird feeders, but I'm recording, so I can't take a photo of it. You darn blue jay. So sorry. So distracted by birds. So plug for my bird photography video. If you've not yet watched it, I'll put it in the little info, little pull-out card up above to go check it out. But there's a blue jay. Darn it. That might be like the 3rd blue jay that I've seen in my backyard this year. So, so bummed. But anyways, back to the AllTrails app. So sorry. So distracted by birds it happens. It is me. So anyways, so yeah, I think I was talking about the premium version or the free version, and so I just use the free version. I also don't post anything in the community section or share my photos on it, so I just totally use it as a research base for my own information gathering of finding hikes. But what I do when I want to take since I can't download the map because I'm using it for free, is I just take a screenshot of the trail map, and then also any of the descriptions that may be part of that, might be useful information about that trail. And so I'll just like screenshot that information of whether it's somebody's comments about making sure you stay left at the fork on the trail, or where the trailhead parking really is located. So I'll sometimes screenshot different descriptors that will help me when I'm trying to locate the trail when I'm out driving. The other thing that I really love about the AllTrails app is that I can save my favorite trails, and so I am able to kind of categorize if my potential hikes and stuff, so I can save them for future. So maybe it's not the trail I'm going to do this weekend, because maybe it will be better to do it in the fall or the winter or the spring or whenever. And so I will save potential hikes. So there are some times where maybe I'm just bored and I just scroll through AllTrails and save potential hikes to do at some point in the future. So that is one of the things that I love about the AllTrails app. The other app that I use in my pre-planning phase, and this I use sometimes the day before, the morning of, or maybe at any point maybe on the trail if I have cell phone signal, and that is a weather app called MyRadar. I know there's hundreds and thousands of different types of weather apps out there, and you probably have one that you really love, but I'll tell you why I like the MyRadar app. And so that is specifically the radar. I love being able to see out of like, where's that rain at, and like a thunderstorm. So if I know that there's rain coming, I can look at the MyRadar app and I can see the line of the thunderstorm clouds, where they're at, and kind of the general motion that they're going. So I can kind of plan out, okay, yes, I can go to this particular area. The thunderstorms will either pass before I get there, or oh, they're so far out that it shouldn't affect me in the early morning when I'm there. So I love the MyRadar app. I know there's other apps out there for weather, and I use other apps also for weather, but I just really like the MyRadar app purely for the radar. I also like that it will tell me if there's rain coming in like 25 minutes, and it's gonna be intermittent for the next like 2 hours. So it's just kind of a fun, good app to have in your arsenal when you're kind of planning and checking out the weather. So now that we've kind of done the pre-planning apps, I'm going to go on to the apps that I use along the trail. And so the first app I'm going to talk about is an app that I don't use all the time, but I use it almost any time that I put a neutral density filter on my lens. And that is the exposure calculator app. And so this app, what you do is you set up your camera however it is, whatever it is you're taking composition of. I typically am using neutral density filters when I am wanting to take photos of a waterfall. And so what I do is I set my camera up, I set it so that without a filter on it, it's the perfect exposure. And then I can enter the information into the exposure calculator app. And then I say what kind of neutral density filter am I putting on my lens. Is it a 3-stop? Is it a 6-stop, 10-stop, whatever. You can also, if you're gonna stack your filters, so if you're stacking like a 3-stop and a 6-stop because that's all you have, and you want 9 or 10 stops and you just have a 3 and a 6-stop, you can put that you have a 6-stop neutral density filter and that you also have a 3-stop neutral density filter. So you can add multiple filters onto this. And then what it will tell you is how long your exposure should be. So what your shutter speed should be to get a properly exposed photo of the scene that you are taking a photo of. And so this is fantastic. Like I said, I typically use this just when I'm shooting waterfalls and I'm using neutral density filters. If I'm using my polarizing filter, because it doesn't have one for polarizing, I know that my particular filter for my polarizing filter is like either 2 or 3 times it blocks out the light, so it's probably really close to a 2-stop or a 3-stop neutral density filter. So I will just kind of select that if I'm trying to figure out the shutter speed that I want to use. So I love the exposure calculator app, very handy for taking photos of waterfalls. The second app that I'm going to talk about that I love, and this is not really a photography app. This is the type of app for the person who, like me, loves to know the names of the plants or the butterflies or the trees, whatever it is that you're looking at or taking a photo of, just likes to know what kind of species it is. And that is an app called Seek by iNaturalist. And so this app is fantastic. I absolutely love this app. I love it because I can take my camera, I select the little camera button, and then I just hover over whatever it is that I'm wanting to figure out what that species is. And then it will eventually, sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, it will go narrow all the way down to the species that it is. So if it's like a chestnut oak tree, or if it is an American holly, it will tell me about that species, whether it's native in my area that I'm at. And then when you do snap that photo, it puts it as a mark on the range map. And so this range map is where the range of this particular species, and so it's other people, you can see other people who observed this same species of tree or plant or butterfly. And so it's fantastic if you are curious and you just like to know about the different plants, animals, insects, amphibians, mammals, birds, whatever, and you're out there on the field, in the field, it is just a fantastic app that I absolutely love. So those are the two apps that I use quite frequently out on the trail. And now we're going to move into my fifth app. And so this is an app that I use at any time. So this is sometimes on the trail, sometimes after the trail, anytime randomly throughout the day or the week. It's an app that I use, and that is the Photoshop mobile app. And so I use Adobe for all my photo, video editing, and so I have the Photoshop mobile app on my phone. And so how I use the Photoshop mobile app might be different than how some people use it. So I use this for if I'm doing some quick edits with any photo that I took on my phone that I'm going to post to social media and that I want to have my logo. So I have saved my Acacia Fike Nelson logo in the Photoshop app, so that way when I am editing a photo and I want to drop my watermark or my logo onto the photo, I can easily do that and then save it to my gallery and then post to social media. Yes, you can also post it directly from the Photoshop app to like Instagram. I don't, mainly because I have multiple Instagram accounts that I kind of manage, and so I don't always know which one it's set to, and so I don't want to accidentally post it to the wrong Instagram feed. So I just save it to my gallery and then I go to Instagram and upload it. So I just love using it. I love it for making quick edits. Anyways, those are the 5 apps that I love to use. Like I said, I would love to know in the comments section below your favorite photography apps that you like to use, or even non-photography based apps, but apps that you think are so interesting that I should check out. So anyways, I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. So if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends and or family. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, I really hope that you do, so you can continue to come along on my photography adventures with me. I will be going out on a hike tomorrow that I'm hoping to record a video for. I'm doing some timber tracking for a current volunteer project that I'm doing with Adventure Scientists, and so I'm excited to do this trail. I don't know if there's any really pretty views on it. I've saved some potential timber tracking ones on my AllTrails app, and so I'm excited to go try to find some eastern white oaks. So yeah, so I might be recording a video, and if I do, that will be next week's video. If not, yeah, you'll see me again here and whenever I post up another video. So anyways, I'm just rambling now. So anyways, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.